From the field to the studios to your eyes and ears, we are back. The 816 hour coming to you. Chiefs breakdown, week 2 versus the Chargers. Sitting down with my man Carter. Carter, how are you, dude?
I'm good. I'm excited to be on this.
Yo.
First, this was a heck of a week to jump on my first Chiefs breakdown.
Come on. It's no better week than biggest game of the season. Coming at you week 2.
One of the biggest games of the season.
Exactly. Already. And it's crazy that we're talking about that week 2. But Carter, great. You just want to dive right into it?
Let's just jump right into it.
Let's get it. Okay, so let's recap that Chiefs-Cardinals game. Obviously, we both agreed the Chiefs looked pretty good. Would you say so?
Yeah.
But
solid. Absolutely solid.
Patrick Mahomes in and of himself, 30 for 39 passing, 360 yards. That 5 touchdown passes won't be as good with Tyreek Hill. Offense won't be as potent. You know, you've heard it from everyone. A 144.2 passer rating and a 94.1 QBR. Patrick Mahomes has looked the best I think we've ever seen him look. I mean, how did you feel just watching Mahomes play that game, Carter?
Oh, it was beautiful. I got MVP vibes the entire game. Every time he went to go throw the ball, I heard MVP
ringing in the back of your head.
A whisper from the ball saying MVP.
I love that. Do you think that the offense is less exciting or less potent without Tyreek Hill, would you say?
Honestly, I think Chiefs offense is far better without Tyreek Hill.
I love that.
It forces them to spread the ball around. It's not just a one-trick pony anymore, having Tyreek run streaks.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it showed last week against the Cardinals. I mean, there were. Sorry, I had a note about this somewhere. I lost it. I'm lost. I'm lost in the sauce.
Like the Cardinals defense against Patrick Mahomes.
Oh,
come on.
I had to do that.
Had to.
5 different people ran the ball.
Jeez.
Nothing to do with Patty. Well, Patty was one of those 5 people, but for a total of 130 yards and 6 players. This is the part that I wanted to do with Patty. 6 players had 3 or more receptions, and 9 different players got at least 1 reception.
That's absolutely wild.
Crazy.
Just spreading the love.
You don't know who to cover because everybody's getting the ball.
Yeah. I'm gonna fly.
Chiefs offense. Yeah, the Chargers just fly. Get out of the way of the Chiefs.
Get out of the way. I listen. I don't know if you listen to Colin Cowherd a lot at all, but he's a NFL broadcast, or he's a broadcaster for First Take on ESPN. I want to say, or Fox. I don't know. FS1. I apologize. But he said that with the Chiefs, whenever you have that guy like the Chiefs had with Tyreek Hill, everything else just kind of got sloppy around it. It kind of seemed like whenever the Chiefs were down, like you just said, the Chiefs forced the ball to Tyreek deep. They didn't take the short dump offs like they did in that Cardinals game. And what I think that offense is going to start moving towards in the next couple weeks. But moving on to the receiving leaders, as Carter mentioned, everyone got in on the party. Kelsey went 8 receptions, 9 targets, 121 yards and a score. If you hadn't seen the bold predictions from the NFL season, Carter did predict Travis Kelsey breaks the NFL receiving record. And that man started off well with that first game.
Hey, I did the math. On this, okay? For 17 games, he only needs 115.6 yards a game, like on average for the season.
Why is that doable?
That's so achievable.
Why is that doable? I don't like how doable. I don't like how easy, not easy, but like I don't like how that sounds in my ears because but
115.6 breaks the record by like 1 yard.
That's crazy. We'll just have to watch and see. But Juju got in on the works, 6 receptions on 8 targets, 80 yards, had 2 fumbles, lost one of them. The other one went out of bounds. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, 4 for 4, 44 yards. I like how 4 receptions, 4 targets, 44 yards. Thought that was kind of cool. But Clyde, he got in on it early. He had 2 early receiving touchdowns, 3 targets. Sky Moore got his first NFL reception for 30 yards. McCole Hardman, had 7 or 8 targets, 3 receptions for 16 yards. Jody Fortson also had a receiving touchdown. So like Carter said, everyone got in on the party, the works.
You get a reception. You get a reception. You get a ball.
We're throwing them out. Man. I love it. Moving off the rushing. Chiefs aren't really known for their rushing, but like you mentioned, they ran the ball very effectively. They ran the ball well. Isaiah Pacheco, 12 carries, which led the team for 62 yards in his first career touchdown. I'll hit on that in a little bit, but Clyde Edwards-Helaire, 7 rushes for 42 yards. Obviously, those 2 receiving touchdowns. Jerick McKinnon, he got in on it. More on those third downs, 4 rushes for 22 yards. And then Patty took off 3 times, 5 yards. Not terrible at all. But that Isaiah Pacheco play, Eric Bieniemy was asked about it in his press conference on Monday, I want to say. I watched it. But a reporter asked him, because if you saw, Isaiah scores his touchdown and he throws the ball against that back little padded area by the fans. Patrick Mahomes goes running for it, grabs it, picks it up, knowing that that's his first NFL touchdown, gives it to Isaiah. So just seeing how aware Mahomes was in an NFL game, in all that chaos for the touchdown, to still go retrieve that ball, get it to the rookie, something he'll never forget. So just wanted to touch on that a little bit. Carter, how do you feel about the rush game?
It was amazing. I mean, they started off hot and they established their own game from the beginning of the game. I mean, Clyde was on fire. Isaiah Pacheco had a few great runs. I loved it. I loved to see it as a Chiefs fan. I loved to see the run game working. I loved it. I think
go Chiefs. When the Chiefs are able to run the ball effectively, I just think that opens up so many different aspects of the game. Obviously, I know that's kind of a blanket statement for anything. If something goes well, then something else might go well. But with the Chiefs offense and how much they have going for it, I think it gives you something else to worry about. And the Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes, outside of the year with Kareem Hunt, they haven't really had that respect to our run game in a very long time. So if they're able to establish that with a guy like Clyde, maybe Isaiah gets more and more involved on the early downs, it's going to be fun to watch. Moving on to the defensive side of the ball. I know Carter absolutely loves the defense. Your boy, my boy as well, Nick Bolton, finished with 10 tackles, double digits. I want to say he got me 44 points in that individual defensive player league. Still lost. That was very upsetting, but Nick Bolton. L'Jarius Sneed had 8 tackles, which was second on the team. He also had that sack early on where Kyler Murray just didn't have a chance, didn't even see Sneed coming. Treshawn Wharton and Carlos Dunlap both recorded their first sacks of the season. Carlos Dunlap, cool to see him kind of coming off of last season's hot end and start, kind of rekindle that flame in his first game in Kansas City. And George Karlaftis, the rookie from Purdue, had that pass deflection as Carter, they were talking about the water polo team. You talked to me about that today. But defensively, how do you feel about that?
It was fantastic. I couldn't have gone better. I mean, for the majority of the game, they held the Cardinals to one score?
Yep.
The majority of the game, and then we had that massive lead. So we subbed out the starters to keep them healthy, and they still showed up. I mean, they still shut down the Cardinals.
Yeah.
So it was great to see. Everything was firing on all cylinders. So
yeah, I'd agree. Obviously, like you just said, everything was firing on all cylinders. Something I did like a lot was how much pressure they were able to get on Kyler Murray, kind of keep him leaving the pocket early. I enjoyed the pressure on that. I enjoyed the defense. The secondary downfield. We'll talk about Trent McDuffie a little bit when we go over the injury report, but had, I want to say, 2 looks his way, not a single reception, maybe no looks his way. I won't even lie to you on 21 snaps. But secondary looked good. Linebackers looked good. Nick Bolton looked good. Oh, Nick Bolton looks so good. Looking more and more like that guy that they drafted from Mizzou. But Carter, you want to get into the sad stuff a little bit? I know you always take over for the baseball.
The sad stuff.
But I'll
let you have the sad stuff.
I appreciate it.
I'll let you.
This one hurts. This one's sad. As I look at my signed Harrison Butker picture sitting right over there, Harrison Butker was carted to the locker room, and the first half of that Cardinals game, swelling in that, I want to say it was his plant foot. He's a right-footed kicker, I want to say. So his left foot, left ankle swelled up right after that kickoff, kind of loose turf, Andy Reid said after the game. So tweaked his ankle on that. Justin Reed took care of PATs, 1 for 2 on that, put the ball through the back of the end zone on multiple kickoffs. That was fun to see. Something we hadn't really seen in ever. I mean, just a safety come kick for the Chiefs. I love that. But maybe one of Carter's favorite players now because he can play multiple positions.
Yeah, I mean, gotta be.
I love it.
Gotta be up there.
But something crazy, Bucker returned and hit a one-step 54-yarder. That was absolutely wild. Hit a couple PATs, which looked like he was just warming up. So that was exciting to see, a little bit like positive news, but they have ruled him out for this game on Thursday. Newly signed Matt Amendola will take over, kick the ball on Thursday for him. And then Trent McDuffie, he was put on IR, was taken out in, I want to say, the early second quarter. He was carted to the locker room as well. He had a hamstring injury, going to miss 3 more games after this Thursday night one, but definitely a tough loss for a early first round pick that showed a lot of promise in the first half of that game. Other notable injuries, Trey Smith and Orlando Brown, they were full participants at practice, so they're likely to suit up. I know Trey Smith didn't finish that game after coming out due to an ankle injury, I want to say, maybe a thigh. Juju Smith-Schuster and Justin Watson also were full participants at practice, so they'll be suiting up. Mahomes, he, like we saw after that touchdown pass, fell on that hand, non-throwing hand, had it taped up after that, but he was a full participant for the rest of the week, so he's going to be good to go. And then Willie Gay, he popped up on the injury report just today. I didn't see him yesterday or the day prior, but he, for his knee injury, he was a full participant as well, so likely to see Willie suit up. Moving on to the Chargers side, a little bit more serious. Keenan Allen, he left Sunday's game with a pulled hamstring. They've already ruled him out on Thursday, so that's huge for the Chiefs secondary, especially losing Trent McDuffie, which we'll talk about in a little bit. Donald Parham, I know me and Carter have nightmares about this guy when playing Madden. Very, very, very tough matchups against Donald Parham, but he is also out on Thursday. JC Jackson, newly signed top corner this offseason from the Patriots. He was a limited participant on Wednesday, so he's going to see if he can play Thursday, kind of a game time decision. And then Rashawn Slater and Drew Tranquil were both full-time participants at practice today, so they are going to be suiting up. I don't like doing injuries, Carter. That's a lot of talking.
Yeah, it is. It's really
golly. But going back to week 1, I'm sorry. I probably should have changed how I did my notes, but you got a player of the game for week 1?
I do. I have a player of the game for the Chargers and the Chiefs.
Wow, you gave the Chargers a player of the game.
I didn't want to. He's below my player of the game.
Okay, respect.
But my player of the game for the Chiefs is, Patrick MVP Mahomes, of course.
MVP.
Throwing for 360 yards, 5 touchdowns, pass rating of 144.2. It's just awesome. He went off. Great game, especially with the hurt left hand. Made a shovel pass with that left hand too.
If you saw, he was doing the handoffs with his opposite hand as well. He was going across his body and stuff, and it was cool to see it. But also, I was like, "Ooh, this might be a little bit more serious." But it was good to see him full participant at practice the rest of this week and was able to finish that game out. Obviously, except when Chad Henne came up in there. But Patrick Mahomes was also my player of the game from week 1. I love the pregame hype video with the kind of graveyard scene that he had. I loved holding up the finger, showing how many touchdowns he had. It just kind of seemed like a sigh of relief happened from Pat not a sigh of relief, because I feel like he knew that the doubters were wrong saying that the Chiefs offense wasn't going to be as good without Tyreek Hill, but it was kind of just like that weight lifted off his shoulders that he's like, I can do this. I can do this without Tyreek because I'm Patrick Mahomes and I don't need Tyreek Hill. I can do this with anyone. But I think Pat got his swagger back. Point blank period. I think we're going to see Pat like that 50 touchdown, 5,000 yard season, kind of, again, doing the numbers, the no look pass, the shrug. I'm excited for Patrick Mahomes this year. But going into this week 1 game for the Chargers, go over that a little bit. They beat the Raiders 24-19. Herbert went 26 of 34, for 279 yards, 3 touchdowns. Herbert looked good. Herbert's a top 5, top 7 quarterback in the NFL. I know some people have him over Mahomes in quarterback talk. That's blasphemy. I'm sorry. But our boy Austin Eckler, 14 rushes for wild. 14 rushes for 36 yards. Kind of a quiet game. 4 receptions for 36 yards as well. Keenan Allen, obviously, we talked about him not suiting up on Thursday. 4 receptions for 66 yards. Mike Williams had a slow day as well. I know from my fantasy team, didn't appreciate that, but hey, it's whatever. And the defense of the Chargers, they put pressure on Derek Carr. The Khalil Mack and that Joey Bosa duo was felt. Derek Carr was pressured on more than 41% of his dropbacks. They got 6 sacks. That's wild. Defense forced 3 picks, but it was only a 1-score game. So I think there are a lot of positives from that game for the Chargers, but also you got to leave that game kind of thinking, if we forced 3 picks, we had 6 sacks, gave up 0 sacks, why was this only a 1-score game?
Mm-hmm.
But Carter, who was your player of the game for the Chargers week 1?
My player of the game was Khalil Mack. 6 tackles, and 3 sacks.
Wild.
I don't know if I was watching the right game. Was it Joey Bosa that got hurt? Tore his pec?
Nick Bosa, his brother. Younger brother for the 49ers. No, wait, no.
No, it just happened. I think it was like
TJ Watt. TJ Watt tore his pec.
Okay.
For the Steelers.
Okay.
Did you hear me?
A little bit. You're kind of going crazy. Not gonna lie.
I was gonna say yours was just. Are you good?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. TJ Watt. I'm sorry. I was.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So
Khalil Mack. That first game, not his first game back versus the Raiders, but kind of showing him what he was, because obviously drafted by the Raiders out of Buffalo and all that. That's cool to see. But some notes for this game: Chiefs versus Chargers. Chiefs are favored by 4 points at this home game. Over under set at 54.5. Key matchup. Carter, what are you most excited to see? Most looking forward to watching this game?
I'm excited to see how the Chiefs O-line does against Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack in their rushing game.
I love that.
As we saw last week, when you're blitzing Patrick Mahomes, he only does better. So it's going to be interesting to see how their defense adjust to Patty destroying their blitz. So
I'd agree. That's what I had as my key matchup, but then I looked at it a little bit more and I was like, Patrick Mahomes he's insane against the blitz. So my key matchup is going to be the Chiefs secondary versus Justin Herbert. I'm kind of curious who steps into that Trent McDuffie role. 7th round pick Jalen Watson played a lot last week. Maybe 4th round pick Joshua Williams kind of steps up. I know Watson beat him out for that kind of 3rd or 4th cornerback slot on the depth chart. But Watson last week, he got high praises from the coaches, had 2 targets on 25 coverage snaps. He gave up that 8-yard touchdown pass to Marquise Brown on that little slant route. But the other one was a breakup. Joshua Williams, he played a little bit in the 4th playing cornerback, but only tallied 1 tackle at the end of the game. Obviously, Keenan Allen being out, like I said, that helps a lot. Justin Herbert's still Justin Herbert. They still have Mike Williams. They still have Gerald Everett. They still have Austin Eckler. They still have weapons. So it's not going to be just, they're going to lay down and have no one. But who's going to step up and who's going to make a play? That's what I'm looking forward to most. Carter, last thing. Do you have breakout players by chance?
I have one breakout player.
Who you got?
My breakout player is Sky Moore.
Ooh, I like that.
Last week, he had that 1 reception for 30 yards to go along with his 64 total yards in return work.
Pick.
He had 4 punt returns for 41 yards and 1 kick return for 23 yards.
Okay.
I mean, he might be better than Tyreek Hill at returning footballs. Saying it.
Carter out here throwing shots. I love it. Carter, talk that talk, man.
He runs forward, not backwards.
I got nothing to say on that, but offensively, I've pondered back and forth about this one. I really wanted to go Jerick McKinnon, but I just think Isaiah Pacheco has himself another game. Clyde Edwards-Helaire as well. I think the rushing game just builds off of that strong week 1. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes is going to do what Patrick Mahomes does, but I think Clyde, Isaiah, Jarrett kind of keep the rushing game rolling and flowing and keeps the Chargers on their heels the majority of the game. Defensively, he had a kind of quiet week one, and it's not really a contract year for him, but there's not a lot of pressure either, but there's kind of a lot people talking. Maybe he won't be on the Chiefs next year. Chris Jones, I think he comes out. I'm going 2 sacks. I think he has 2 sacks against the Chargers. I think he is disruptive. I think he's the Chris Jones of old. I'm excited to see what Chris Jones can do. Stone cold. But final score, Carter. Give me a prediction.
My prediction.
What do you got?
Is Chargers 35.
Uh-oh. Oh gosh, we got a
Chiefs,
high scoring affair.
37.
You would make it a game where we just have to edge of our seats. We have to wake up early. Some people have to wake up early for work the next day.
I know, but it's going to be a game. I got a feeling it's going to be a great game. Potentially a game of the year again for KC. So
will it be in the esque of Travis Kelce's 60-yard scamper in overtime to win the game in SoFi Stadium last year?
I think so.
Give it to me.
I think so.
I need you on Chiefs Check. Carter, come on any Chiefs podcast you want. Keegan always keeps me down. No, I'm just playing. Keegan, all love, man. All love, Keeg. All jokes. Had to throw shots. Big thing. Chiefs are 6-1 in their last 7 home games against the Chargers. That one loss did come to Justin Herbert last year. Got to take that into account. Got to take into account that
we made the playoffs last year, so
got to take that into account. Got to take into account that Justin Herbert is better than Mahomes by a lot of people's metrics. But throw it out the window because the Chiefs are winning 30-21. I wanted to go bigger. I just think it's a close game. I wanted to go Chiefs like 33, maybe 37-21 or 24, but I think that I got to respect the Chargers defense to a point with the pressure they were able to put on Derek Carr. But I think Travis Kelce has a big game. I think Carter Webb killed it on this podcast. Carter, are you ready for tomorrow, man?
I am pumped. I'm pumped.
What do you rock?
It's going to be a great game.
What socks be rocking?
Patty.
He's going to be a Patty.
Patrick.
What were the socks week 1? Were they Patty or TK?
Patty. They're Patty.
Look, you got to keep it rolling.
I know. I got to. I got to wear the exact same stuff. Everything the exact same.
Oh, I gotta think. I know you didn't ask me, but I just wanted to share. I think I'm gonna wear my black Nick Bolton jersey's gonna be going on Thursday. Gotta be.
That's gonna be nice.
Hey, check out the socials. We might be dropping. We'll have to drop our game day fits. Carter posting his socks. Me and Keek posting the jerseys. Carter, we will get you in a jersey by the end of this year. I promise you that.
I'm hoping I get one ordered here in the next couple of days. So
hey, we shall see. But Carter, you got anything else, man?
No. Go Chiefs.
Oh gosh, that got really dark. That's really
signed off real quick. Okay.
We'll get a little light in here. I apologize. I didn't think it'd go that dark. But Carter, hit us up on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Big Cartel / the 816 Hour. Get your merch right in time for Chief season. YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you can look it up. The 816 Hour is there. Spooktober coming very soon. We'll be here before you know it. Halloween Kills. Who knows? The 816 Hour might have some merch coming. I don't know. You have to stay tuned. Like Carter always says, turn on the bell notifications. Carter, I again just wanted to thank you very much for kind of stepping out of your comfort zone, jumping on this podcast. You don't know how much fun this was. Love sitting down, talking ball with you. Keegan, hopefully you are able to join us again here soon. Hope you are well. I don't know where Keegan is, lost in Jamaica somewhere.
Sick somewhere. I don't know.
Might
be on vacation.
Hey, who knows? But Carter, Chiefs football tomorrow, man.
Yeah, I'm pumped.
We out?
We're out.
Peace.